got some parents out there that are calling their children spiritually immature, but yet they are the ones that are spiritually immature. You know, you've got generations talking about these kids nowadays, but yet the generations previous, to an extent, you know, maybe some did the best they could, right? Or the best they knew how, right? But there's always a knowing better. So basically, Satan has just blinded the world in so many different ways. We're always uncovering lies to step into like who we were called to be. A lot of people stay stagnant or lukewarm or, you know, whatever. But when you move further and further into your calling that the Lord's designed for you, that you feel is very natural to you because it was meant for you, you step further and further into that, there's going to be new trials, there's going to be different scenarios, there's going to be abstaining from the things that you once like indulged in, you know. And I know like a lot of people nowadays, they are maybe mindful about some things but not mindful about all things. A lot of people think that what we consume doesn't matter, and I say that such as like they have the knowledge to a degree of knowing that something is unhealthy, but not the depths of what unhealthy is. Like, God is good, and our body runs on natural things, but putting unnatural things in it is bad, right? So God is good. What's bad? Opposite of good. You know, I'm not saying that the enemy and God are equals by any means, but it's against, the enemy is against what is good, right? And the plan is to take us out, but he can't take us out unless we come into agreement with his plan. I'll take some of that, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just interesting at times when I hear people talking about whether it be their kids' attitude or whether it be whatever. You know, they learn how to be the parts of them that you don't like because of you. You know what I mean? So like our kids mirror things and tell us things. And it's either because of you or because the one you're around, your spouse, but still you're a part of that. You're a part of their lives, you know. So, yeah, I've done a lot of learning and continue to grow. But like I used to be atheist to where, you know, I didn't deal with disrespect very well. And I'd tell you that. And then the more I said it, the more it became even more true to where it wasn't helping to say that. It was actually making it worse. You know what I mean? Like, it was almost like a warning label. Like, you know, I don't deal with disrespect well, so don't disrespect me. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's not how it works, you know. But I learned a lot, such as, you know, my son is a mirror. The things that I may not like that's spitting back out at me, it's probably unhealed parts of me, right? So there's a lot of healing that I've done these past 4 or 5 years. That's like when life really began for me, because you know, my sons, I got one on earth, one here on earth, and one in heaven. The one on earth is the reason why I'm alive, And the one in heaven is the reason why I know like true hope and truth, because I needed answers, you know, and the Lord gave me that. So it's like, it's all about what people search for, and coming together and sharing testimony is so important. You know, I've noticed that by like talking to people on the streets and stuff, and I lived that life as well, you know. But it's just, anyways, I don't want to go off on too many subjects, but my point is that, you know, people want to talk about generation. Like today I had to just walk away. I went to go visit someone, a client of mine who's in a rehabilitation center, and a lady, one of her caretakers, who I know actually talks to familiar spirits, but she thinks it's something else. But anyways, she over talks and this and that, and I was noticing myself get kind of hyped up, because I'm like, I'm just trying to put a couple little blips in there, like, you know, this little one-liners, like, you know, God created everything. Yeah, He gave us gifts, and we can glorify the devil, we can glorify God, and, you know, that's about all I can get in there. And then just certain things like that. But she was talking about generation, you know, it's just, I forgot what she said. It just like made me feel a little sick, but sick to think about, like not physically sick, but yeah, it just, I just think about people talking about this generation, that generation. I'm like, well, there's generational curses, man. I mean, and people gotta, we see things around us, and we can be like, become more aware, or I forget how I worded it, but basically, yeah, kids are the future, and whether or not you have kids teach us things, you know what I mean? Like, they mirror us, they tell it like it is, you know. That's important. We need that. And some things that I might have to make another video for this, just covering some things I've learned that was hard for me to like come to terms with, that my son's pain, instead of getting upset at my son's pain, which sounds so selfish when I say it, like my son saying, you know, you blah blah blah, blah, and me not knowing how to emotionally regulate as good as I do now. Still a work in progress, but yeah, just certain things, it's like I wanted to get defensive and stuff like that. And that's why it's so important to walk in, my dog's barking, it's throwing me off, to walk in forgiveness, to walk in just straight not having no bitterness about anything. It's hard, but it's so necessary. If you sense yourself starting to get a little bitter, starting to get a little defensive, especially by something a kid is saying, or your child is saying, or your niece or nephew, that's a blessing. That's like God showing you there's a problem there. You know what I mean? You need to fix that. And in the nicest way, kindest way possible, right? So it's a chance to make it right too. And that's the beauty of other people, you know, God speaking through other people, or the enemy speaking through other people, so we can be like, you know, I'm not gonna go there, but I'm trying not to do so many topics here, but whatever, I did. So what can you do, huh? Y'all have a good night.